What do you want? Do you want me to pull
Oh,
over there?
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to. Hey everyone, Cecil with Wooden Barrel Games here. It's been a while. Let's talk about why. Last time y'all saw me, I was working on Vana'Gear and I was just starting development of cardboard. So why cardboard? Well, Vana'Gear was having issues. I was still stuck on Unreal Engine 5.4 and I couldn't migrate any of my project files to 5.5, 5.6, or any other feature versions of Unreal Engine without having to completely rework a couple of the systems that I had just to make 5.4 work. And one of the main features released in Unreal Engine 5.5, Nanite skeletal meshes, the main driving factor that allows you to just have so many skeletal meshes on the screen at one time, all animated and moving in conjunction. There's another component that goes into that called the Unreal Engine Animation Framework, which is currently in an experimental phase, I think. I'm currently working with that. State trees don't work on the server, but they work on the local client, and I'll be looking into how to fix that in the future. And then there was the lack of additional funding from Unreal Engine. I applied for the Mega Grant thinking I had a pretty good shot of receiving a little funding to obtain just a few assets to finally finish out the Warrior class. But that didn't happen, and I needed to find a way to generate revenue to obtain the assets that I needed to finish Vana'Gear. So that's where cardboard came in. It was something that I think I could finish in a year, generate some revenue, and the market of deck builders at the time wasn't really saturated. Turned 1 year later to 2026, and there's about 10 deck builders that are released every single week. So, well, couldn't you just make your own assets? Yes, and I do all the time. I make my own buildings, I make my own rivers, I make my own weapons, I make my own animations. I make a ton of assets for Vana'Gear, but it's just not enough for one person to make every single thing that is going to go into the world. That's why I feel that it's better for me to focus my time on the code, getting everything working, the server architecture, combat, optimization, just everything else I can focus my time on is the main point I'm trying to get at. Well, where is Vana'Gear now? Currently, Vana'Gear is up and running in a very basic form. Combat's not there, the UI isn't there, none of that stuff is working anymore, but the main thing is Unreal Engine is now running on 5.7.4 with Nanite skeletal meshes, the Unreal Animation Framework in place, and common UI to allow all the different playstyles that people will want to. If they want to pick up a Switch, or if they want to pick up an Xbox, or if they want to pick up a PlayStation controller, the controls and the UI will automatically switch fluidly depending on what interface you decide to go with. I'm currently migrating the UI and the code from that old Unreal Engine 5.4 project to this new 5.7.4 project, which is going to take some time, but the code is already done. I just have to move it over. I'm going to be working on the UI next. I got locomotion, jumping down, and double jumping, along with sprinting, dashing, and a couple of other locomotion mechanics. Well, that seems like a lot of work, migrating old code over to a new project. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but getting Vana'Gear up to the point of having 3 classes in general was a lot of work, just for one person, but I did it. I intend to do this. I'll see you guys in another month to give you an update on where I'm at with it. Well, did cardboard do what you wanted? If you were to ask me that question when I started working on cardboard with the results that I have today, no, it didn't do what I wanted to do. But that's not really where my headspace is at today. It's a year and a half since I started working on cardboard, and in that time I was able to gather so many assets through sales. If you were to look at the value total for everything that's just in the Unreal Engine Vana'Gear project, it's probably close to $10,000 worth of assets alone. So did cardboard do what it needed to? Yeah. Also, I had to wait until Unreal Engine was at a point of maturity for all the systems like Skeletal Mesh and the Unreal Engine Animation Framework to even become viable options for me to consider. I have a server ready to host the alpha on. I have local backups galore just in case anything happens, and I have all the assets I need. Well, how do you even plan on building Vana'Gear going forward? What's your goal? What are you attempting to build first? I plan on building smarter than what I was doing before. Before, I would spend maybe a month or two just on trying to build out the landscape of one environment. And while I could have been fleshing out classes, could have been putting in more enemies, could have been adding more stuff for people to do rather than just trying to build the world around them. Hence, pre-made locations and environments are great foundations to build towns and locations off of. And there are a ton of great pre-made locations that might need some tuning to actually get it into a playable state for running at real time or runtime. But that's something that I'm willing to invest the time into. Rather than spending 2 months on designing something very similar, I can take something already made and spend a month making it better and way more fleshed out for the world of Vana'Gear than designing something on my own that might take months, if not a year. Now, one of the biggest questions probably still burning is, last year I was ready to drop the cardboard demo, but what happened? Well, I've been dating somebody for 2 years now, and last year they needed my help starting their own business, making their own products, designing something from the ground up by themselves. Now, I've shown these off on Blue Sky before, but I just want to go over it real quick, just talk about it, because honestly, I think they look so good. I'll go ahead and just try to get some B footage, some close-ups of everything and how it looks, the craftsmanship that went into making this. All I really did, though, was design the back filament piece and the kickstand and the eye hole for the for hangers. She wanted to feel good about the work that she did. Her job was pushing her to use artificial intelligence to do her work for her, and she just wanted to feel like she was doing something, and she wanted to make these. Anyways, enough about that. She doesn't want me going over everything she does, but if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down to her Etsy channel or her Etsy store page, and you can check it out for yourselves. But they're pretty cool. Now you're like, it took you half a year to do that? No, of course not. We needed a shed for the resin to keep it out of our house, to keep everybody in the household safe. We needed HEPA filters. We needed a system to process the resin and capture all those VOCs. Speaking of making things, I also, if you haven't noticed, there's a new mocap helmet on the desk. I'll go into this a little bit. If you remember, the last one made from a bicycle helmet was pretty clunky, really heavy, and it had the option of actually attaching a cell phone to it, and it used a little GoPro. This, a little bit different. It uses a webcam, uses some 3D printed arms, and I think this is a retrofitted Meta Quest headset strap that I turned into something that I can mocap with. I'll go ahead and show you all that now. Let me go on. All right, and then I'm going to be here. But as you can see, it kind of tracks well. The cable can kind of go behind you, and if you have a little computer on your back hip, you can kind of just plug it in, record whatever footage you want. And it's super light and feels so nice. I'll go ahead and, well, I might show you all in another video going over our motion capture system that we're going to be using for Vana'Gear, but this was also the start of that. Well, enough me ranting for today. I have a crap load of work to do, and I want to get started. So I'll see you all in the next devlog 30 days from now. See ya.